So I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and she was telling me about how she was in Walmart and she was doing some shopping in Walmart, and she was startled by an employee that approached her. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later in this video. But what she told me was really surprising, and it was really the inspiration behind this video today. If you guys are new to the channel, drop a like for the video. I appreciate that. Also consider subscribing for more news, information, preparation, updates, financial news. If you're looking to increase your income, if you're looking to expand, increase your net worth, and make it to the other side of the multitude of financial crises that our country and the world is experiencing right now, if you want to make sure that you can reach some degree of financial freedom, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I want to continue to share more and more information with the community to help more people to achieve what they're capable of achieving, but also to be able to escape the fear side of the game. So many different outlets that are promoting. There's so many different outlets that are just like putting fear into the minds of everyone without showing any indication that there's a reason to be hopeful. And without hope, you can't grow. I mean, think about it. If you already think that the game is over, why would you even try? And so anyway, guys, I just wanted to put that out there, because if you're still breathing right now, if you're still breathing today, the game is not over. So a couple of things. So I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and I also read a message from a viewer who works in Home Depot, and basically it was a recurring theme that I was seeing. Now, what we're seeing is that more and more companies are compromising their employees. More and more companies are compromising their employees. If they can make them, part-time workers versus a full-time worker, they can save money by not having to shell out full-time worker benefits. If a company can pay a worker as a 1099 contractor versus an employee, a company can expand their profit margins, keep their expenses low by not offering benefits, because if they're a 1099 worker, they're a contractor, they're not an employee, then the company can be more profitable. And we're right now in this really weird cycle. It's kind of like a death spiral cycle right now economically, where we're seeing inflation to the extent that we've never seen, at least not in my lifetime. I'm not old enough to have experienced the Depression, but I do remember the 2008 Great Recession, and that was a very painful time for a lot of people. It actually wasn't painful for me. It was just a scary time for me and my family. But the way I reacted during that time frame set us up tremendously to be in a very good position going forward. And I want to share more about that experience and what I did, because I feel like that those actions that I took during those times made me the person that I am today, and it will help a lot of people in the situations that we're dealing with today. And this is what a lot of people are not talking about, on other channels. You're definitely not going to see it on the news. But so anyway, this Home Depot worker, and I also want to let you know what my mom experienced, but they're tied together. So this person who indicated that they worked in Home Depot, I didn't validate this information, but they shared enough information to convince me that they really worked in Home Depot. So basically he was saying how the Home Depot, it was working him to death. And sorry, I got distracted because I'm getting a phone call in the middle of this video. The Home Depot basically was working him to death. He's saying that he has all these different responsibilities, and I actually saw this type of message multiple times. But he's got all these different responsibilities. He's over all these different departments. lumber, plumbing, hardware, tools, multiple different departments that he has to kind of float between in any given day. And he was explaining how stressful it is because you're constantly getting pulled into the manager's office, getting reamed for what you're not doing, balls you're dropping. If you got 10 balls in the air, chances are you're going to drop one, right? So it kind of goes back to, why aren't you hiring more people? And then, he was talking about how he was strongly encouraged, almost, and I don't know, this is just a message that I was reading, but he said he was strongly encouraged, almost kind of forced to, backed into the position of needing to learn to drive a forklift. And basically it was so that he could be more valuable to the company. Now, from the company standpoint, I understand, you're trying to do more with less. With inflation as high as it is, all these expenses are higher, gas prices are higher, nearly all facets of business expenses are higher now. You've got inflation, you've got higher fuel costs, diesel costs, shipping costs, product costs, supply chain disruptions, supply chain delays, you name it, it's higher. Rent is higher. Taxes, even on properties, even businesses that own the buildings and the warehouses that they work out of, restaurants, the taxes, the property taxes, even if they own a property free and clear, and most businesses don't. Most businesses are a little bit more financially savvy, or at least they implement a strategy that would allow them to finance properties, to be able to have a higher cash flow and not tie up cash into a piece of real estate that saves them money in terms of interest. But it's kind of like, if you're running a business, you need your cash flow to multiply your cash to basically expand your business. And if you can expand your business at a rate of 20%, assuming your gross profit margin is, let's say your gross or your net profit margin, say 20 to 30%, why would you want to attempt to save 3%, 4%, 5% mortgage rate interest by paying off your mortgage first if you're a business owner, when you could take that same money, reinvest it in your business, and grow your business at 20 to 30%? So it's like, okay, if I can grow my business at 30%, why would I try to save 3% over here? It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like why would you use a 3% coupon when you had a 30% coupon over here? Anyway, that's another story. That's another topic for another video. But basically, he was also indicating that he was going to have to put in more hours, more time. And this is one of the problems with being an hourly worker. But he said he's going to have to put in more time, more hours, more time away from his family to learn how to drive a forklift. And he went into the fact that there was really no upside for him, except for maybe he would have better job security, but he wasn't going to get paid any more money. He wouldn't earn any more money per hour. He wouldn't earn any more money. They wouldn't convert him to a salary worker. Again, this is what I'm being, this is what I've read through this message from this, Home Depot employee, as he indicated that he was. So you go through all of this, you bend over backwards, you're jumping through these hoops of fire, right? To be more so that you can do more for this company. And according to him, if he messed up, if he crashed into something, if he knocked some, very expensive, maybe he pulls, a huge pallet off of a high level or whatever, and it's not properly level on the forklift and it tips over and everything falls over, who knows? There's all sorts of downside for him that he would potentially be assuming by becoming a forklift driver with no upside. He was saying that they're not going to pay him any more money. They're not going to pay him any more money to train, which I'm pretty sure, the training, I don't know how they do their training. You guys could comment down below if you happen to work for Home Depot, or if you know someone who works for Home Depot or Lowe's, how they do their training. You guys could let me know, but I'm pretty sure if you're going through training, I guess the forklift training would be on site at Home Depot, maybe during off hours so that customers aren't in the way. I don't really know how that works, but I'm pretty sure you would get paid for the training, probably your normal hourly rate. but the guy mentioned that he's making $9 an hour, and how customers were literally just getting pissed off at him because, you know, he doesn't necessarily know where everything is, because he hasn't been working there very long, and they're not paying him very much, so he's not highly motivated, but he does need his job. And, you know, everything is so much more expensive today than it was, you know, say, you know, 5-10 years ago. And the hourly rate of increase for employees is just not at all keeping up with the rate of inflation. And not only that, he's also not even getting enough hours. He's saying that he wasn't even getting, you know, a full 40 hours. You know, most weeks he gets more than 35, but he never gets 40. And, you know, overtime is just completely out of the question. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, he's getting called over here to cut keys, and that could take some time depending upon how many keys a customer has. Then the line builds up, then the manager comes over and they're yelling at him because, you know, why are you taking so long? Hey, we need you over here. You know, you hear it over the PA. Hey, you know, I need somebody over in plumbing. And then the manager's coming to him, dude, we need you over in plumbing. But it's like, well, I can't split myself in half. I can't be in plumbing and cutting keys for the 9 people that are now in line because the first customer brought me 16 keys. And then, so that, and why they don't have automated key cutting machines in all stores is beyond me, or just not even offer key cutting. You know, if it's not that profitable, I don't know how profitable it is, but, you know, if it's not that profitable, either A, stop offering the service and stop, you know, getting pissed off at employees for doing their jobs, or hire a dedicated key cutter, or invest in key cutting, automated key cutting machines that can do the work. And then that way you don't have to allocate a human resource to doing that, which they're going that direction anyway. Because if you look at automation and self-driving cars, you got electric vehicles that are smarter and more intelligent than, you know, many of the traditional gas-powered cars. They're moving away from human beings in the workforce. So why don't they just promote their own agenda, bring more automated key cutting machines, and stop, you know, yelling at the employees for doing their job as best they can. So anyway, so at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, I remember the last time I was in Home Depot, and I actually like Home Depot in general, and I go there often, but it used to be I could walk inside of any Home Depot and there's tons of employees, and I could just, you know, I could just turn around and there was an employee to help me, and everybody always knew where everything was, which always amazed me. It's like, man, y'all got like thousands, millions of products probably in this whole building, and no matter what I've ever asked, any employee I've ever talked to could immediately tell me without looking it up, oh, that's on aisle 16A. You probably see it about, you know, this high level on one of the shelves on the left hand side. And I'm like, man, there's like 50 aisles here, and they just know. And they were never wrong. I've never had an employee tell me the wrong thing. Now the worst, I would say the worst thing I've ever experienced is like an employee might say, hey, it's either 11A or 11B, or it's aisle 11 or 12, I can't remember, but give me a second, let me walk with you over there and I'll make sure. But I've never had a real bad experience ever, which is kind of why I like shopping there. And it's like, whenever you shop at a company, it's generally the employees that make you like or dislike a company, because the executives, they don't work in the retail operations. They don't know what that's like, right? So your experience, whether you decide to do business with a company or not, generally, you know, aside from excessive self-checkout at, say, Walmart, for example, you know, there's just excessive self-checkout, and there's very few cashiers that can even help you. You know, they don't even staff them there. But for the most part, if you like a company or not, it's generally because of how clean it is and how friendly and helpful the employees are. Bottom line, you know, obviously price is a factor, but generally it's the employees that make you like or dislike a place, or you get a certain vibe when you go to a company. Anyway, so bottom line is, a lot of employees nowadays, they're being so underpaid and they're being tasked with so much more workload. And so this is kind of going into why there's so much quiet quitting going on. A lot of these employees are done. They're tired. You know, it's like, look, I'm doing the jobs of 3 different people, and you're paying me really less than the job, or less than the hourly rate that I should be paid for one. And so it's like, man, should I really be getting paid $9, $10 an hour for doing all this work? I really should be getting paid, $27 to $30 an hour. So a lot of these employees are quiet quitting, and they're like, hey, I'm done. I'm not trying to do all this extra work and then, learn to drive a forklift only to incur more risk and have a higher opportunity to possibly get pulled into the manager's office and, reamed again. It's like, why, And so anyway, so more and more employees are finding themselves in this situation. And then what happens is you tend to be around other people who are in a similar situation, and then you complain with the other employees who are in that same situation. And I found myself in a very similar situation many years ago, and all we did was complain about the situation, wish it was better, but we were doing nothing to make it better. And a lot of people are finding themselves in these situations today. And if you're looking to make more money and you want to get out of that situation, and you're capable, or even if you don't know you're capable, maybe you need someone to tell you that you're capable and help you see the way. We need to have a conversation. I got my email down below. You guys know how to reach me. And I'm getting a lot of emails from you guys already. How do I, get a side hustle started? How do I start selling on Amazon? How do I create and build and grow a YouTube channel? So, I'm getting a lot of your emails. Please be patient with me. I'm going to get to you guys. But so, sometimes I'm at Home Depot and I cannot find people to help me as easily as I once was able to do so. And there's a lot of factors that play into this. But I will say this, my mom was in Walmart, and I can't tell you if I've ever been helped by a Walmart employee. Nothing against the Walmart employees themselves, but it's more than likely the training that they receive. But I swear, like almost every time I've ever asked a Walmart employee where is something, they could never tell me what aisle right off the bat where it is, like a Home Depot employee could do. Like, that is remarkable how Home Depot employees can do that. But Walmart, they've never ever been able to be like, oh yeah, it's on this aisle. They know exactly where each and every single thing is. And I don't know if the training is different at Walmart versus Home Depot, but at best, number one, if I can find an employee to help me at Walmart, at best, what they'll do is they'll walk around the store with me and look for it. But it's like, I could do that myself, which I've already done, and I didn't find it. So it's like, I'm not trying to just play scavenger hunt with a Walmart employee, or any employee for that matter. Just I want someone to be able to tell me where stuff is. So anyway, my mom's in Walmart, and she's telling me she was doing her normal shopping and whatnot, and she walked down this aisle, and she's checking prices. Everything is higher, of course, but she's comparing prices, trying to get the best deal on whatever she was buying. And a Walmart employee approached her and said, "Hey, can I help you?" And my mom turned around startled. She was like really just caught off guard. And the employee was just like, "Oh, I just wanted to know if you needed help with anything. If you're looking for anything, can I help? I just saw you here on this aisle, and I had a free moment. I just wanted to ask you if you needed any help with anything. Could I show you, anything that you might be looking for?" And that was all it was. It wasn't anything more than that. My mom was so startled and surprised because she's never, ever once, ever been approached by an employee at Walmart to ask her if she ever needed help. And it was almost like she texted me to ask me if it happened to me. And I was like, no. And she was like, "I've shopped in Walmart for 20 years and never, ever had this ever happen." So, but I think it comes down to the fact that employees are just not being paid what they're worth. Employees are not being paid enough to do what they're being asked to do. Employees are not being paid enough to do what they're tasked to do. So, again, employees are getting screwed in a lot of cases, and it's going to take a concerted, focused effort to get out of that situation. And it's the same situation I found myself in. And if you find yourself in this situation where you're scared and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make ends meet. Inflation is taking a huge toll on you. Your cash flows are down, and you're looking to figure out, hey, how can I make more money? How do I turn this situation around? I'm tired of feeling this everyday pressure. As soon as I wake up, it's just this negative weight on my shoulders. You know, I'm just trying to be able to provide for my family, and I want to not have to worry about that anymore. I want to know that I'm good. You guys know how to reach me. That's all I'm gonna say on this video. I hope you guys got some value out of it. If you made it this far, drop a like for the video, subscribe to the channel, and I just want you to know that no matter how negative your situation seems, a lot of times its perception is actually not that bad, because I talk to so many different people and we break it down to its simplest components and we come up with solutions. And it's just like, you know, I felt so bad, meaning like, you know, the people I'm talking to, they feel so bad, and you're almost drowning in the problem that you can't even begin to see solutions until someone else externally with experience getting through a similar situation can help you think it through. And then all of a sudden you got so many options. It's like, oh man, what solution do I choose? And now all of a sudden the feeling of hope comes back into the equation. Anyway, I don't want this to be a 50-minute video. I'm gonna end it right here. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.